So today we're going to be talking about a comprehensive review on the Connex HD system and the difficulties I had, the frame I'm using, and how it looks like and how it flies. So here we are. The Connex HD system. Let's take a look at this frame. By the way, this frame is a Ragg-e curse, and by a company called Ragg-e. You can just check it online. I'll put the link in the description as well. Sorry, I have to open it the other way. And it fits pretty nicely, actually, the Connex system inside of the frame, keeping it protected. Let me just take these screws off, and I can show you exactly what's inside. Alright, so top comes off, top should come off, not yet, there we go. Is it on? Yes. Top comes off, and inside just disconnect the power for the VTX, and I can disconnect the camera as well. There we go. So inside there is a little mess of cables. Actually, it's not that messy. So I have a what is it? Oh, a 4-in-1 little B ESC just underneath the flight controller that connects to the motors. Because I had an accident with one of the motors, I'm using F60 2200 kV in the back and F40 2300 kV in the front. It works. Yeah, and the cabling, actually I was saying it's messy, but it's not that messy. You just need 5 volts to turn on the flight controller. I'm using a Foxeer F303, and then the signal cables and the ground from the 4-in-1 powers up the flight controller. That's it. I have, just so I don't blow up my Connex, which would be bad, I have a little capacitor connected coming from the battery connection. So this passes by the capacitor and then connects to the Connex system, which is basically this cable. And if I let me see if I can open this up. There we go. That's the Connex there inside, as you can see, and all it needs is power in, and then the video connection to the camera. Yeah, that's all it needs. So it can take up to 4S batteries, so 16 point something volts, 16.8 volts, actually 17 volts, and between 4 and 3, if I'm not, no, actually it says here, input between 7 and 17 volts and max 2 amps. So yeah, that's the capacitor helps the voltage spikes to stay down, and so I don't blow up the very expensive Connex VTX. So what can I say about this? it flies really nicely, and it flies really nicely both in the high quality and in the high performance as well. So there's two settings that you can select on the system, and high quality gives you the best HD quality. It looks amazing, but you do notice a little bit of lag when you're flying, and by that I mean it's a split second lag, but it's still noticeable. Especially racing, it will be really hard racing as fast as you possibly can with this type of lag. If you go to high performance, then you can race normally. It feels exactly like any other normal analog camera that we use, but the quality gets severely reduced. So it's I would say a lot better than the analog quality that we have, but it's not, it doesn't blow you out of the water. The other issue that I've had is that I've smashed this straight into a tree, and the camera happened to go first. And what that created was the protection lens, or well, the plastic cover for the lens broke. I'm trying to repair it to get it back, but in the meantime I did a little bit of DIY with another lens cover, and yeah, it seems to be working. But this is the one that got broken, basically. So I contacted Connex to see, hey, I broke the plastic cover. How can I get a new one? And it turns out the customer service isn't that great. So they just said, go to your supplier and yeah, good luck, basically. So I went back to the supplier, which is Hobbyking, and they said, oh no, so the manufacturer didn't send us any parts, or doesn't have any parts, so we can't help you. The only way that you have in order to keep flying is either buy a new camera or do a DIY version. They even said, oh, if you have a friend with a 3D printer, try and get them to print a plastic cover for you, or I guess a 3D cover for me. Really? No designs, no anything, just even said, oh, it might be a bit difficult to get all the design perfectly. No shit. Yeah, but get a friend to do it for you. What? This is terrible. There's no parts. I mean, this should be like an expendable part that you can just get a new one for $5, £5. Unfortunately, no. That's a big downside to the system. Well, I don't know what to say. Connex, bring your game up if you're watching this video. Yeah, that's pretty much the bad things you should expect from this system, and I really expected a much better customer service, but yeah, so some other stuff that I had problems with was the antennas. So as you can see, the antennas are now in the arms. I'm not going to be able to close all of this easily, too easily. But if you see, the frame doesn't have any more the shark tail. So I placed the antennas directly in the arms, and to be honest, in a racing environment, I didn't I didn't see much difference. So I didn't experience loss of signal, and I'm on the lowest mode that the VTX can send out. So I think it's 25 milliwatts for the current mode that I'm in. Yeah, so the antenna's in the arms, pretty secure. Haven't had any more problems with haven't had any problems with those. But when I had the shark tail and this frame crashed a couple of times, it pretty much started taking out parts of the plastic part of the shark tail, which wasn't very good. And ultimately, I had a crash that wasn't even that hard, and it completely ripped off one of the antennas. So I had to get a new set, which again is super hard to find. I think so far there's only a company in Germany. So if you're in Europe, there's only a company in Germany that is sending these out. And I can put the description in the. I can put the link in the description as well for that. What other stuff? So this, I mean, I know it's still early on, and this system is pretty new, but yeah, there's a few things that you really, if you want to try it out, you really have to learn to adapt, almost force yourself to adapt if you want to have a good experience. And one of those things is setup. So if you're flying with this, you get your goggles. You have to be using some HDMI type goggles, and then you will need to get the receiver, because obviously there's no receiver that will fit in your Fat Shark goggles that can pick this up. So this you'll have to assemble it somewhere, and then well, upwards obviously, and then connect this end to your Fat Shark goggles. I mean, that's not so bad, but with Fat Shark goggles it just sits in the left side and it's pretty hard. Also, the cable that's supplied is what, a meter long? That's it. So you always have to sit pretty close to this, or you just buy another cable and spend more money because you haven't spent enough in the HD system. So I guess that's almost acceptable to fly in. You have to be pretty close to the receiver, or just put this in some sort of stand, have it next to your face, and then you'll be able to fly. As long as you don't start turning your head and moving around and pulling this receiver into the ground. Then obviously the receiver needs some type of power, so you'll have to get some battery with some power connected to the receiver. That's one more thing that you have to hang off of your stand or whatever you're mounting your receiver on. Then that's all fine and dandy if you want to be able to fly. But what if you want to do some recording? I'm sorry to say that you can't do it directly on your goggles because they only record in analog, at least, well, Fat Shark models, and I believe I don't think there's any models that can record in HD that are out yet. So you will need to spend a bit more money and buy one of these. So this is a solution that is normally used by gamers, and it's called a HD PVR rocket. This was the cheapest thing I could find that records in HD, and it's still not cheap enough. So I'll put this in the description as well. I'll put the link in the description as well. And obviously with this, it brings its own HDMI cables, which is good. And you can connect this HDMI end to this receiver, and then the other end that goes to your goggles will go. There's an HDMI in and an HDMI out, so you can put those. You can put the cables directly here. But then it's one more thing that you have to take with you and power with yet another cable and a mobile portable. A portable. It's called like a data bank that stores energy to power this up. So at the end of the day, that's what you need to take to the field, plus your remote and your goggles and your batteries in order to fly. Terrible. Yeah, I think we're still a long way away to getting a solution as we have right now for the analog system, in which you take your goggles, this and batteries, and a remote obviously, and you can fly. Or you take the exact same thing plus this and you have a digital system. So yeah, it's pros and cons, I guess. So enough of me blabbing about the Connex. Let's see how it works outside. Go. So yeah, I'm just heading off to test the Connex HD system in the field, and I'm meeting up with a friend of mine, Ryan. I'll catch him along the way. Right. Me and Ryan heading out to a field to fly some quads.
I can buy the extra part and put it on the front, and then I'd have 4 motors.
It's going.
That'd be like crazy torque.
So yeah, the unpleasantries of flying HD is that all the freaking cabling you have to connect just to be able to fly. And I'm gonna go on a race now with Ryan. What? Okay. Yeah, he has goggles, and that's it. I have like this monstrosity just to be able to get on the air and record. He has a GoPro, and that's it. So I'm gonna start by racing in HD. Let's see how it goes. Is this even recording? Yeah, it is recording. Right. Goggles. So let's. Where do you start? Like go through this first one, and then no gate skipping. Ryan's a well-known gate skipping bitch. Second. Fucking future of quad racing with a billion freaking cable. And I need to connect this shit. And I'll turn into HD. Okay. I need to change it to HD because I'm showing on. Actually, you know what? I'll start with. I'll fly high performance first.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh shit, we gotta slow down here, right?
You do. 2 laps. I'll do one more just to catch up to you. Three.
I hit the ground, but I didn't break across.
Right. I'm coming into land. Oh. You crash. Yeah, so that was high quality, I think. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, it's quite easy to fly. It's just like a regular quad, and this one flies actually quite well. And now we're gonna do, as soon as I find my batteries, we're gonna do the high-powered, the high-quality one, which is gonna be much slower. Let's see. Also, Ryan isn't very used to flying this course, so I have a little bit of an advantage. I was saying you're not used to flying this course, so I have a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah. Coming into there and slowing down.
Yeah, you have to
get it. You get it.
Yeah. Give me a second. Let me change to
You change.
to high power. Yeah. So a high quality. Yeah, go for it. You can start. Let's smack into this thing. Woo! Man, it's so... when there's lag...
Oh, fuck!
You crashed into
Hit
something.
a tree. I
Just
went
at
off
the
the
end.
path somehow.
Let me just come out, be careful. Actually, it's so cool. I actually saw your quad. Huh?
I saved the Xiaomi.
You saved it.
Yeah, look. With the lens protector. I hit the Xiaomi straight head on in the tree.
Blah. Oh wow. Wow. Finally recording something interesting. A lot of weird shit has happened throughout today, and this is the first, like, well, it's kind of normal in quad racing, but yeah, look at that. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this was a terribly long one, but give me your thoughts in the comments below. Like up the video if you liked it, and if you're a new visitor, subscribe. Bye. You actually showed up on that.
Yeah, I was trying to do.